Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Juggernaut. It's our first best of 5 today between these two players. And in the blue, for Psystorm Gaming, this is Gumiho. And spawning in the bottom left, in the red, our Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is ZEST. Yes, good morning everyone. Oh, I love this. I love the people that are posting where they're from. Hello from Russia. Hello from UK. Hello from Kazan. Hello from the United States. It's still very dark here. I'm sure most of the United States is still nice and warm, tucked into their beds. Hello from Brazil. Ah, the love is outstanding today. Oh, Gumiho. Gumiho's SUV didn't unfortunately learn very much when he went to fighting camp. Because Zest just tased the crap out of him. Okay. We're already off to a fantastic start. So let's take a little peek here at both of our players as we boot this game up. Take a little bit of time and talk about these different players. Of course, Gumiho, very recently back into the scene, coming back from his military service. I still have people that are like, "Wait, Gumiho's back! Gumiho's back, and he is looking good." He is not clearing everything up, but I would say that's like an unrealistic expectation of him. But he is showing some very, very good games. I mean, he's taking wins off of players like Ragnarok and Nice, Prototype, Neo. He's taken a game off of Lenok as recently as July 6th. So, despite being in the military service, he is showing some very, very good play in his most recent month of being back. And I think my guess is that Gumiho is only going to get stronger and stronger. I mean, picked up by his old team, Psystorm Gaming. And I think he has every intention to participate in the next GSL. Obviously, a super tournament if and when it happens. You shouldn't say if, when it happens. And it's going to be good for the Gumi God. We've already gotten some really good series out of him as well, just in general, regardless of wins and losses. But against Protoss players, he does have a couple of wins. Couple of losses. Most recently in the ESL Open Cup Americas, he fell 2-1 to Astrea, but I mean, he took a game. He fell 2-1 to Cyan. 2-0 to Cyan. He beats Nice 2-0. And against an opponent like Zest, I mean, Zest is Zest still best? I would like to say so. But I think that there's definitely has been some discourse about that statement over the last couple of weeks. I think the haters can be put in their place. The haters, the speculators, all of them wishing to see Zest not be best, but we'll have to see what he turns up today here. Zest is obviously a very strong player. But in this particular game, good blink just about finishing up for Zest. As he starts working his way out to the third base location, he's dropped the pylon on site, but hasn't taken the opportunity to actually get his Nexus down just yet. But look at this. It's the perfect scout here, as he just sends everything out in different directions. I think he's trying to look for this little hit squad of Gumihos to try and limit that from just like dashing on in and roasting up 15 workers. But I don't think he's going to find it. He is absolutely not going to find it. So instead, Zest's going to do his own thing here. He does have the Warp Prism available, so this high ground is going to be available. But on Juggernaut, that's not really a very abusable high ground. The tank's able to sit in such a position where it can just rotate from the main to the backside. And this is going to be a good position here for Gumiho to hold. The tank will eventually go down, but wow, look at the cost that it came at. The Stalker count is so insanely low now at this point. And now the Cyclone in the sky, that Warp Prism is going to be able to get harassed here. Are those Stalkers going to be able to get away? They will. One of them does. So, just, you know, gotta say I'm not really feeling this. Oh, he picked off the supply depot. There we go. That made it worth. It did not make it worth. Because on the back side of this, 9 probes did go down. It must have been another roast buy. Oh no. We're already missing important stuff here. But thank goodness Game Heart actually tells us. So we know for a fact that it was those 2 Hellions that got in there. It'll be a giant blink forward here. Can ZEST pull this off? He's lost the worker counts, but might be able to get some return fire here on his opponent. The workers have been pulled off of the mineral line, and they're going to be able to blink back and forth. Tank's not in advantageous enough positions to really abuse this. So this will be the follow-up here that ZEST really needed. Now he's going to be able to blink on top of those tanks. The tanks have been pulled far enough forward that they're not going to get additional support. The Raven has popped out, but unfortunately the Warpins have already begun, and you can't stop those with interference. ZEST, with a powerful punch, takes game number 1 over his blue Terran opponent. Well, we had a pretty clear and quick start here for ZEST at game number 1. Just a very fast and powerful blink all-in timing. And against an opponent like Gumiho, I mean, ZEST feels confident with the build. He could easily just run that down. I feel as if the way Gumiho plays into the late game, it could work out in ZEST's favor. Just one of those, why play long game when short game do trick? I mean, you win the same amount of opportunity on the map if you can just go really, really fast. And ZEST might just be able to make that happen. It seems like he's also playing aggressively from his win yesterday in the ESL Open Cup. And if he were to advance forward and Cure is able to advance out of his side of this Super Series, well, you probably have a little bit of a rematch again. Cure would be able to try and look for some revenge against ZEST, as ZEST bopped him out of the Open Cup Americas, I believe. No, Cure was only able to win 1. So sad. So disappointing. No, of course I'm kidding. So it seems like things are opening up here. Pretty stock standard, at least for the moment. Do have a Nexus down on the low ground for ZEST. Gumiho with his command center as well. I mean, did a decent job of dodging the initial harassment here. No worker kills at this point. We're going to break a little bit of the atmosphere here. Just ignore Rushi typing and listen to Rushi talking. Oh, good stuff. We have a Twilight Council, though. Is this going to be the exact same stock standard build? Oh. I think it might end up being the case here. We do have the Adept going out for a scout once again, and the Stalker production has begun. So it's a matter of whether or not we see this same build for the moment. But look at this, Gumiho going into a timing here with Marauders. I mean, against Stalkers, theoretically, this is the right response choice here. Picking up the concussive shells as well is going to make those bulkier units move just a little bit less efficiently. But Blink, I'm not quite sure if that's really going to have that much of an impact here. ZEST will just be able to blink on forward and just avoid some of the concussive shell damage, that is. Now, if ZEST doesn't go this route, which it seems like he's going to since there's additional gateways going down here, 2 more to add into the 2 that are already there, it's going to be another 4-gate timing. I mean, this could work out really, really well with pushing across the map, but I don't know. I don't think ZEST is going to wait nearly that long here. Stalkers are already moving out onto the map. There is a pylon up in place to scout once again. And now we have the pressure for Gumiho here to try and zone out his opponent. But what does ZEST have in mind? I think ZEST is going to be ready to try and secure a position in this game number 2. Now this is going to be a nice little pickup here. The medevac going to put some pressure down at the third base location, and this could end up working out really well if the situation presents itself. But Blink is just finished up here. These stalkers are going to be really, really scary, especially with a lot of these units up in the medevac. And that medevac is just going to get picked off, and suddenly where is the potential in this push? There's no high ground vision left. These units can now just blink up to the high ground freely, but it's just all over for all those units. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism moving out onto the map. We're going to have aggressive warp-ins. There's a warp-in already back at home. Gumiho has lost so much on this, and what does he have back to protect? He has a tank. This is probably one of the best maps here to really blink up and get in here, because you don't want to put that tank too far to the right, otherwise it's not going to be able to protect on the left. Oh no, that tank is on the ramp. That's going to cause some problems here for ZEST. ZEST is going to be able to posture up. Giant blink forward here. And now the bunker goes down. The second tank pops out at a good time. Is he going to be able to capitalize on it? No, stim pack not quite done. That second tank not even going to see the light of day. And ZEST, with another quick timing, snaps his opponent's aggression and moves across the map and secures game number 2 in this best of 5 series. Is Gumiho in good playing level? Haven't seen him much since he finished service. He's been showing some very, very good games. I think he's been showing above average for players who have returned to the scene immediately after military service, but my guess is that over the course of time, he's just going to get better and better. That is my anticipation. But he's not going to survive very long in this Into the Alpha X if ZEST continues to go for 4-gate blink all-in and Gumiho doesn't directly respond to it. So we're going to have to watch Gumiho here and see if he has a build in mind to try and counteract this. All right, I'm feeling okay so far. I'm knocking on wood. My desk is made of pure wood, so I can knock on it and I can feel really good. Gumiho was one of the most unique Terrans back then. Well, it feels like we're going to be just trading out really strong Terran players with innovation, I think officially now being done, and Gumiho coming back. So we swap one in and out. We got our Twilight Council once again. ZEST, are you just gonna blink all in your opponent 3 games in a row? When will you learn? Oh man, see, and I called out all of that information. I didn't even get a chance to see. I assume that ZEST abused that ladder position. Here we go, Gumiho. Okay. Coming across the map with a little bit of harassing force. I mean, this is nothing to write home about. Oh, okay, he's going back home. I take it all back. This is going to be a little bit easier choke to hold here for Gumiho. Not as good of a blink location if Gumiho's prepared for it. But yeah, here comes blink. Here comes the additional gateway. There's the robotics facility. ZEST, you madman. Why play long game when short game do trick? Ino's going to his military service, but unless something changes, he has announced that he will not be returning at the end of his service. I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot of time. Might have a change of heart, or things might work out in his favor. But it seems like at the moment he has indicated that he will not be back. Now look at this, folks. Gumiho's got 4 gas going right now, so there's going to be additional gas-heavy units being produced. Raven's going to be coming out right now. I think the Raven's going to hit just a little bit earlier. Gumiho's going to do everything in his power to try and be prepared for this. Is this yet another 4-gate? 1, 2, 3. 3. Okay, so it's just a 3-gate. Yeah. Yeah, it's a long amount of time. Who knows? People could have a change of heart. Situations might change, but I would seem to guess that Inno's probably going to be done with the professional scene. Whether he chooses to play recreationally, or what if Inno just started streaming? Would you guys just like pog out of your mind? I think you might. I'd go sit in an Inno stream. Just watch him trash talk all the players in StarCraft 2. All right, here we go. Gumiho. He's done it, but now he can't rest on his laurels because ZEST behind this is not going to go all in into this build. He is grabbing his third base. He has his robotics bay already down. So if Gumiho is going to sit back and wait for this to take place, I mean, he has invested a lot. He's invested a lot into this defense. And this is now the point where Gumiho has to go. He needs to go. He's going to grab hyperflight rotors out of his starport. I think this is a wonderful way to try and play this out. He's already got the Banshee Cloak upgrade. I don't think we have any Banshees out on the map just yet. We have one. Okay. Down on the bottom side here. Double armor going to come up back behind this for Gumiho. Additionally, we are going to get +1 extended thermal lance for ZEST. And ZEST's going to rotate this all on his own. Oh no. When it rains, it pours. Gumiho is stuck in the middle of traffic with no umbrella. And it's monsoon season. Now we're going to get to this Blink Stalker push that we were expecting to hit a little bit earlier. That's not going to get as much damage done here. Picks off a tank. I mean, a tank for a Stalker? It's a pretty decent trade for ZEST. I just realized that the flip around was not correct. So sorry. All right, +1 about to finish up here for ZEST. This could be a really nice timing, but I think he's just going to lean into the macro a little bit harder. Grabs his 4th base down below. Additional Colossus being built back at home. He's at 2 right now. We'll go up to 3. And immediately starts +2, as well as getting additional gateway. He's up to 8 gate. He's going to get to 10 gate. Yeah. I think his production is going to start kicking in here really soon. Gumiho's playing very, very passively. And, I mean, he's designed. I mean, he's been hurt by ZEST 2 games in a row now. And the supply depots are going down. The walls are being built. He's just kind of bunkering himself back into his base. So Hyperflight Rotors is now complete. That's that Banshee speed upgrade. So these Banshees are gonna be wicked fast. I mean, how many Banshees is he gonna get up to? He's got 3 so far. So yeah. Look at those bad boys go, making boosted medevacs look slow. Dark Shrine gonna come into play. We're gonna have to see how ZEST deals with this, because right now it's mostly mech, and I'm not certain that Colossus is gonna be as effective against mech as it could be. There is an observer with this army, so these Banshees, despite being able to be cloaked, are not going to be able to get as much damage done to the main army. 9 workers ended up going down off of this initial harassment. So if anything, geez, these Colossus are finding tons of damage just by harassing the mineral line alone. Yeah, so ZEST feels really good. Grabs 10 of those workers and he says, okay, I've got what I need. It's fine. It's all good. The observer coverage by ZEST here is just impeccable. Does not matter where Gumiho flies with these Banshees. The Banshees are always being spotted, and they will always be dealt with. The 4th base is done. 5th base on the way. 6th base on the way. ZEST is just... he's styling here in game number 3. He wanted to silence the doubters, like, oh, ZEST clearly can't play a long-form PvT right now. I was like, well, here it is. Here it is, losers. Yeah, this is looking really strong right now. Now, this is a little bit better army position for Gumiho. Good tank siege here will keep that army back at bay while he floats the command center over to the 4th base location. That will be a nice setup, but Gumiho has done a really good job of bunkering in his entire base. So, is he going to remain as diligent in this base expansion? We'll have to see here. We do have DT Blink being researched right now. Hellions are out on the map trying to do a little bit of spotting, but it's mostly just stalkers. Yeah, mostly just stalkers. Now we do have some charge lots getting warped in here. +3 already on the way. 2-2 is the research of choice for Gumiho. So he's running a little bit behind schedule on those upgrades. But here is going to be just a gnarly push. The tanks aren't sieged up here on the bottom side. This is a beautiful concave, by the way. He's going to be able to grab all of those tanks. So many of those stalkers are still available here. And I think the follow-up is just going to be the victory screen. GG's called. ZEST with a very powerful 3 games. Bops his opponent 3-0 and advances on to the grand finals. Well played.